Good evening. Christopher Campos, a proud product of the Hoboken Housing Authority, former Housing Authority Commissioner, and former City Councilman. So first and foremost, I want to say, I don't envy you. I don't envy you at all. But you have been brought into a situation that I don't know if you've done your research yet, because these people, there's a long history here. So we were talking about how across this nation, there's this idea of socially constructed neglect. Socially constructed neglect is when public officials, elected officials, appointed officials, neglect a certain area of town, so much so that there's a process of gentrification which allows people to be moved out and then new people to be moved in, right? And I came up with that because in the 80s, if you remember, in the late 70s, as we were kids growing up in this community, some of us remember the fires that were set and the abuse that we endured. And I'm not just talking about Puerto Ricans or blacks. I'm talking about people without and people with who wanted to come in. There's been going on this acrimonious, this behavior of political bullying. Today, New Jersey has a black eye across the nation. Why? Because allegedly, in order for political retribution to occur, the childhood friend of the governor, ordered a bridge to be closed. I'm giving you this fact for a reason. There's a history behind the frustrations that you're hearing today. They're not against you. This isn't we hate you. This isn't people who just don't like you because of you. There's people who mistrust you. There's people who don't believe in you. Because you are appointed to this board not to serve political agendas, because political bullying is going to have a price to pay. You saw how those emails came out today or yesterday that exposed the deputy chief of staff of the governor? The emails that you guys are going back and forth and you're creating these resolutions and how you're creating in the darkness something that's going to be brought to light. I'm telling you guys that people are watching. Mr. Mello, you are one articulate young man. I got to tell you, you and I have debated online, offline. I respect your intellect, but your intellect is dangerous. Because you speak with the tongues of angels and sometimes you just talk a lot of stuff that isn't true. I questioned you about this Vision 2020. You and I had a debate, and when it came to fruition, you did exactly what you were told to do. Your marching orders were set by the mayor, and you pursued that agenda. Listen, you gave the people an explanation that, oh, I supported the first phase, and I even adopted where to move it, but maybe I changed my mind. You know why you changed your mind? For the same reason why these people have been appointed, because there's an agenda here. There is an agenda. You know, Mr. Mello, Ms. Zimmer likes to say she was reelected by the residents of Hoboken, and she was. But let's take it back a little bit. Ms. Zimmer was elected to the 4th Ward to serve the residents of the 4th Ward. She beat me in an election that was very controversial. I won't even go there. But she promised these residents, when she knocked on their doors, that she was going to do a better job than me. A person who gave my heart and soul to this housing authority. Where did she go 2 years later? Bye-bye 4th Ward, hello mayor. True, we understand the circumstances. But she forgot the promises that she made when she was given the new position that she could effectively change the conditions she promised she would change. Now, here you are, an emissary of the mayor, a person who once said on this dais in 221 Jackson that the mayor didn't know that you were making the suggestions that you were making, that the mayor had no idea about Vision 2020. And you're the city council representative, so your job is to report back to the city council, and the city council is supposed to report to the mayor, and you know how that works. But what I'm watching right now is that you forget that when Zimmer gets elected by the 4th Ward residents, and then she becomes the mayor, what happened to the numbers, your recent numbers in the last election, in the 4th Ward? All of your numbers, from when she was successful, in the areas that are most concentrated in the housing authority, the most affordable housing units in the city of Hoboken, went down. Why did they go down? Because the majority of the residents support their director. It is when you guys started attacking the director of the housing authority that the support of the residents has changed. Tyranny of the majority is not good politics. Being a political bully is not good politics. Listening, building bridges, not fences, not walls, listening to these residents makes a better Hoboken. She always promised she would work with Hoboken residents. You promised that you would work with all residents. You guys took an oath appointed here. Why don't think for a second. Why wouldn't you listen to what the residents are saying? Your butts weren't even warmed by the seats, and you come up with a resolution to take the chairman out.
Yeah.
You haven't been sitting here long enough to even understand what the issues are, but you came with marching orders. Did you guys violate the Sunshine Law? Did you guys have a meeting privately to discuss what the vote was going to be on that resolution? Have you guys done some things that may not be appropriate? We'll find out. We'll open request. We'll find out. I'm asking you. You seem very reasonable. You and I had a conversation once. You and I had a conversation, and you were in the back of a room, and I talked to you about immoral laws, unjust laws. Because you said, oh, the decorum, Ravi kept pointing out the decorum, people screaming, and I was saying that's the frustration of residents because they're being left out, they're being ignored. And you agreed at the end of the conversation, you said to me, I said, there was a time when they said we had to sit in the back of the bus. There was a time when law said I couldn't marry this woman right here because she was white and I was of color. Laws that are immoral and unjust should not be obeyed. Any threat to justice should not be obeyed. If you're going to ignore these residents, if you're going to continue to pursue a political agenda of bullying, what's going to happen is what just happened in Hoboken. The mayor's case, what happened? She lost.
That's right.
Angela Sayre was vindicated for what the mayor did. It cost the city of Hoboken over $1 million, and it's still going to cost the city of Hoboken. So what I'm saying to you, you may think that it's okay right now that this is just some soliloquies from people, that these people are, no, these people are watching because they remember the 80s. They remember the deaths and people being burnt out in this community. They don't want to fight you. They want to work with you. They're asking you, work with us, please. But if you're not going to work with us, they're going to fight because this is their community, these are their children, and this is our future.
That's right.
I pray that you listen. God bless you.